As I said in my Madaraka Day address, our nation, Kenya, is still a work in progress. It has its good and its bad. It has its ugly, but it also has its sweet. If our attention as a people and a nation always reverts to the bad and the ugly, all energy will flow to the negative, and we will just become a nation of angry, disillusioned people. But the young people who embrace the positive and the possible will emerge heroes and makers of things. So therefore, a good starting point for all our young people is to look for a problem and solve it. And if you solve a problem, heroism and success will naturally follow you. And I have 3 recent examples to illustrate this here in Kenya. The first one, last week on Friday, I invited my cabinet and indeed the entire nation as I unveiled a series of transformative programs and projects undertaken by our young people. The team of over 800 young men and women drawn from across the Republic have undertaken seminal programs that include the nationwide airborne geophysical survey, the geospatial project, the cyber project, developed drones, as well as a national security industrial project. These young innovators not only delivered high quality work, they also did so at a fraction of the said cost. For example, ladies and gentlemen, in respect to the mapping of our national resources under the National Airborne Geophysical Survey, a private firm had quoted to do this at a cost of Kenya shillings 30 billion. But our team of young professionals have programmed to do the job at a cost of Kenya shillings 4 billion. Currently, this project is almost 70% complete, and we look forward next year to launching it. With the completion of this seminal project, the comprehensive geology of our country is now known, and that information will be used to chart a path to prosperity and self-sufficiency for host communities and the wider Kenyan nation. Our young people have similarly completed the mapping of our entire country to the sublocation level, an endeavor that was last undertaken in 1972. Thanks to their efforts, we now have an annotated inventory of all public utilities across the country, all public infrastructure, all schools, both public and private, all hospitals, and all other public utilities, and a description of all physical developments, all the way to the individual home. Serikali sasa itakuwa ngumu sana. Because of this, the next frontier of e-commerce within our nation will be powered by the national address system that will be rolled out across our nation. The e-commerce trade channel will be serviced with drones made by Kenyans for Kenyans. The second example I want to give is about 2 engineering students from Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. The 2, Michael Mwasikenyi and Ken Geshira, created an automated weeding robot to help farmers eliminate the need for herbicides in their crops. The robot uses artificial intelligence to to discriminate between weeds and crops. And the innovation has a robotic arm for weeding in between the crop rows and a plow-like weeding tool that is dragged by the robot as it passes in between the rows of crops to remove inter-row weeds. This innovation emerged winner of the 2020 Imagine Cup, beating teams from across 9 European, Middle Eastern, and African countries. The innovation is scheduled for presentation at the Imagine World Championship in Seattle, Washington State. Added to the many innovations from our young people during the COVID-19 crisis, the third heroic example I wish to mention is that of one Roy Alela, holder of a bachelor's degree in microprocessor technology and instrumentation from the University of Nairobi. This 25-year-old engineer had a strong urge to communicate with his 6-year-old niece, 6-year-old deaf niece. He had a problem to solve, and he did not shy away from it. After many experiments, he finally managed to create a pair of smart gloves that helped him communicate with his deaf niece. These gloves have flex sensors that help the deaf wearer communicate and actually vocalize messages to a mobile phone through Bluetooth. These customs are made to be customized to any client specifications and have a 93% accuracy of vocalizing messages. By solving the problem of his 6-year-old niece, Roy Alela has created a solution that will help thousands of deaf people globally. This innovation has won the Hardware Trailblazer Award by the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Roy was also the second runner-up for the British Royal Academy of Engineering Leaders in Innovation. With the example, therefore, of the National Security Program, Weeding Robot, and the Smart Glove, it is clear that Kenya has a pool of talented and gifted people. Where those transformative innovations came from, I believe there are many more. All we need do is look. And if our national attention moves to the search for solutions, our natural energy will indeed flow to a positive place.